Okay, it's Module 5, Lesson 19, focusing on word problems. There's 6 word problems on this homework. We're asking them to do the read, draw, write, RDW. So they read the question, draw a picture, and then write an answer after they do their math. So I'll show you the model for the first 2 or 3, and then after that I'll just show you the math, and hopefully the picture should be, from these first couple, will help with the back. Okay, so Isla walked 3/4 of a mile each way to and from school on Wednesday. How many miles did Isla walk that day? Okay, so what we're looking for in the picture here, okay, so she walked the same distance to and from. So this is to, this is from, okay? It's 3/4 of a mile each way. So we're going to look at that as she walked 3 parts each way, okay? And now we're dealing with fourths, so we need 1, 2, 3, 4 to show our whole. Okay, so basically, we're just taking 3/4 plus 3/4. And 3 plus 3 is 6/4, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we got that right. Now we just need to convert this to a mixed number. So since we're dealing with fourths, our whole would be 4/4. And then 6 minus 4 is 2, so we have 2/4 left over. So the 4/4 equals 1, so we have 1 2/4 miles. Okay. Zach spent 2/3 of an hour reading on Friday and 1 1/3 hours reading on Saturday. How much more time did he read on Saturday than on Friday? So we know he spent this much on Friday and that much on Saturday. We want to find out how much more time, so that means we are going to refocus the camera first. So we need to subtract. Okay, so we're trying to figure out how much more 1 1/3 is than 2/3. So we have to turn 1 1/3 into a fraction greater than 1. So our whole is going, since we're dealing with thirds, is going to be 3/3. And we have the 1/3 left over. So that's going to equal 4/3. Okay. We're trying to figure out, that's how many we have total then. So we have 4/3. So this is our 1. We're going 1, 2, 3. And we have 4/3 of them total. So we're trying to find out how much more. So we're actually taking 4/3 minus 2/3. So to get rid of our 2/3, we go 1, 2. And we have 1, 2 left over. So this is how much more. So 4 minus 2 is 2, and we're still dealing with thirds. So 2/3 hours more. That's basically all we're looking for right there. Okay. Mrs. Cashmore bought a large melon. She cut a piece that weighed 1 1/8 pounds and gave it to her neighbor. The remaining piece of melon weighed 6/8 of a pound. How much did the whole melon weigh? Okay. So we need to convert our, we know that the piece weighed 1 1/8 pounds. What she had left weighed 6/8 of a pound. Okay. So what we're doing is we are dealing with eighths. So we'll cut it in half, cut it in half. Okay. So this is our 1. Okay. So we have 1 1/8, so we have 1 extra. That's our piece. Oops, spelled that wrong. And then the remaining piece weighed 6/8 of a pound left. Okay, this is what is left. Okay, so if we turn 1 1/8, that's going to be 8/8 because we're dealing with eighths. So our whole is that. So we add that up, and that's going to give us 9/8. So 1 1/8 equals 9/8. So we want to find out how much the whole melon weighs. So we want to know this part right there. Not how much more, but we want to know the whole. So we're going to add, because we have 6/8 and 9/8. We're going to add them together because we want to find the total. 9 plus 6 is 15, so 15/8. We split that up. We want to make it a mixed number. Again, our whole is 8/8, and then 15 minus 8 is 7/8 left over. So there's 1 7/8 pounds. That's how much the melon weighed. All right. All right, the back, I'll just do the math instead of drawing the pictures. Pictures are a good visualization, but eventually pictures aren't going to cut it. They're going to need to actually do the actual math. So I'll just do the math. Allie's little sister wanted to help her make some oatmeal cookies. First, she put 5/8 of a cup of oatmeal in the bowl. Next, she added, keyword added, another 5/8 of a cup of oatmeal. Finally, she added another 5/8 cup of oatmeal. How much oatmeal did she put in the bowl? So she put that much in first. Then she added another 5/8. Then she added another 5/8. Okay, how much oatmeal did she put in the bowl? So we're doing 5/8 plus 5/8 plus 5/8. Okay, so that's going to equal 15/8. They could split it up, adding those two first, and then we have 10/8 plus 5/8, and that's going to equal 15/8. So now you need to split this up to make a mixed number. That's going to be 8/8 is your whole, and then there's 7/8 left over. So you have 1 7/8 cups of oatmeal. Okay. Your picture, we're dealing with eighths, so we need to make that's a whole. And then we're going to add another 7. Okay, so this is 1. So it should 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this was first. 2, 3, 4, 5. That was second. And then that's going to be third. So that's how much. That's what the picture is going to look like. All right. Marcia baked 2 pans of brownies. Her family ate 1 5/6 pans. What fraction of a pan of brownies was left? Okay. So we're basically taking 2 minus 1 5/6 because we're starting with 2 pans. They ate that much, so it's gone. So we're dealing with sixths, so we need to turn these into fractions with sixths. Let's draw our picture first. We do this. That's 1 pan, and that is 2 pans of brownies. Okay, there's 6 in each one, so our whole, this is 6/6, and this is 6/6. So if we add those together, we have 12/6. We want to find out how much she ate. She ate 1 5/6, so we can get rid of a whole pan and then 5/6 of another. So we have this one left over, and we got to figure out what that equals. We know it equals 1/6 because the pan is in 6 parts, and so each part of that equals 1/6. But we got to figure out what that's going to be in a fraction greater than 1. So we have 1 5/6. This is going to be 6/6 because that's our whole, and 5/6. So we add that up, and we get 11/6. So now we're taking 12 minus 11/6, and 1/6 pan of brownies. That's your answer for that one. Okay, Joni wrote a letter that was 1 1/4 pages long. Katie wrote a letter that was 3/4 of a page shorter than Joni's letter. How long was Katie's letter? Okay, we want to find out how much shorter it was, so we're taking 1 1/4, subtracting 3/4. Okay, so if we take 1 1/4 and we turn it into a fraction greater than 1, our whole is going to be 4/4 plus a 1/4, so that's going to equal 5/4. So now we're taking 5/4 and subtracting 3/4 to get Katie's letter was 2/4 of a page. Okay, your picture for this, we're starting with the larger amount because we're going to subtract 3/4 from it. So we have to make our total, right? We have 1, 2, 3, 4 parts in our whole, and then there was an extra quarter on top of that. because this was Joni's letter. And now Katie's was 3/4 of a page shorter than that, so we have to take away 3/4, and we're left with 2/4, which is Katie's letter. And that is Module 5, Lesson 19, some word problems.